Welcome, everyone, to another special edition of the Living Transplant podcast. This week, I'm going to bring you behind the scenes at the Banff CST conference and introduce you to some wonderful people who are presenting, all about their innovations and their exciting ideas about transplant and how to make this entire journey much better for potential recipients and donors, caregivers and families, and patients in the system as a whole. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm very excited to bring you different episodes throughout this week, so stay tuned. Today, I am very happy. I am joined by Jeff Green and Rihanna Bowling, who will be discussing developing a modernized pan-Canadian organ donation and transplantation data and performance reporting system. Welcome, both of you.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
Awesome.
Likewise. Thanks for having us.
I'm wondering if you can introduce yourself to our audience, Rihanna.
Sure, I can start. My name is Rihanna Bowling. I'm a program lead at the Canadian Institute for Health Information, CIHI for short, and I'll pass it over to my colleague, Jeff.
Thanks, Rihanna. Hi, everyone. I'm Jeff Green. I'm the Senior Director of our Organ Donation and Transplantation Program at Canada Health InfoWay.
Fantastic. And so can you tell me a little bit about your presentation that you've done this week at the conference and what that is all about?
Sure, maybe I'll take a first stab. So yeah, we were really excited to be a part of the meeting this week, and our presentation was focused on a pan-Canadian project that our two organizations, CIHI and InfoWay, are co-leading on behalf of Health Canada. And it's a project that's really focused on really the modernization of the way that data is managed and reported across the organ donation and transplantation spectrum. So what that really means in terms of the work we're doing is we are procuring and implementing point of service solutions. So the software that clinicians use to manage their workflow, both within organ donation organizations, as well as in transplantation centers in acute care hospitals across the country, with the main purpose being that they will collect consistent data that will then be digitally seamlessly submitted into a newly created pan-Canadian ODT data repository that's going to be managed by CIHI, Rihanna's organization, on an ongoing basis. And that will have data from ODT activity across the country that can then be used to report on performance on an ongoing way and use that to support quality and improvement and efficiency initiatives.
Fantastic. What has the progress been from the past year of what you've implemented so far?
Great. I think I can cover that for you. And Jeff, feel free to chime in as well.
Yeah, you bet.
So in terms of CIHI's progress on workstream activities, which are done in parallel to InfoWay's, we've made significant progress to date on developing national data standards for deceased donation, living donation, and transplantation, all readily available on our project website, ODT, or CIHI.ca/ODT. So that's very exciting work, and it really lays the foundation for the standards and the data that we're going to collect embedded at point of care solutions that Jeff spoke about. And then that will feed into the pan-Canadian indicators and the important measures we're going to be able to capture and report on from the CIHI side. And over to you, Jeff, for the progress on InfoWay.
Yeah, sure. So at the same time that CIHI has been leading that really important work, we've been collaborating with stakeholders from across the country to work on a public procurement process to identify a solution, like a technology solution for management of deceased donation data. So I'm happy to report that we actually completed that initiative last year, and we were able to announce that Transplant Connect was the preferred vendor identified through our process, and they have a product called iTransplant that is going to be deployed to a number of provinces across the country. So now we've moved from that sort of planning process to getting ready to really move into implementation within specific provinces.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And Candace, maybe I'll close off with the other work stream that CIHI is leading, which is the development of the 10 Canadian indicators. So over the past year, we've led extensive engagement. So we've met with over 100 ODT members from across the country, and this ranges from clinicians, decision makers, ministries of health representatives, and of course, patients, families, and donors to seek their perspective on what's important to measure and what's going to go into the performance reporting that will be in CIHI. So that's an important progress to date. We've completed that work, and now we're moving to the exciting phase of developing all those indicators for reporting.
Wow, that's a lot of work for you guys.
We're busy.
Yeah, I bet. I'm wondering if you could talk to me a little bit about the data and how all of this would contribute to making transplant and transplant data more accessible and equitable for patients and providers across the country.
I can speak to that, Candace. So when we think about it, a modernized ODT data and performance reporting system is really needed. And because we need that, it's going to be able to improve the quality and efficiency of our care, equity of access to transplantation for all of Canadians, really to enable better patient outcomes for both transplant recipients and, of course, living donors across Canada.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm wondering if both of you have anything that you'd like to share either about the Banff presentation or about your organization as a whole to our listeners that could provide them maybe some insight into what you do or just a message of hope of what's to come.
Sure, maybe I'll start, and Rhiannon, I'm sure you'll have comments as well. I think it's been a really positive experience for us to attend the meeting in Banff. I think it was great for our project to have exposure to some new people that weren't as familiar with the work that we were doing. At the same time, it was nice reassurance how many people really already were aware of the work and had heard of it and wanted to learn more. So that was really encouraging. And I think I know I speak for our whole project team when I talk about how meaningful it is for us to be working on this project and such a tangible impact on this important part of our healthcare system, and knowing that it's going to lead to improvements in efficiency of the system, but most importantly in terms of patient outcomes on the transplantation side and improving the performance on the donation side, and speaking to some of the things that Rhiannon mentioned around missed donor opportunities and important metrics like that. And I can also speak for myself personally as the son of a double lung transplant recipient that really means a lot to me to know that we're helping in that way.
Incredible.
So from my perspective, I'd want to say an echo of thanks to all those that we've engaged with from the ODT community over the past year and previous to get to this point. We hope that the updates and the progress we've shared can give you a picture of what that end goal of a world-leading modernized ODT system is going to look like, and how that's going to potentially provide knowledge and information to those who need it to seek it when they're looking to learn more through their transplantation or their donation journey. More exciting work ahead to come. It's a process, and there's more work ahead for sure, but we're hoping for continued success, continued engagement with patients, families, and donors to seek your perspective, especially when we think ahead to the public reporting that will come in the future.
Wonderful. Thank you both. And if people want more information about your organizations or about this project, where can they go to find that?
Thanks, Candace. All the latest updates are available on our project webpage, which is the cihi.ca/ODT, and also available on InfoWay's project webpage as well.
Fantastic.
Which is infoway-inforoute.ca/ODT.
Perfect. Amazing. Thank you both so much. I'm so grateful to have had you on the podcast, and thank you so much for presenting all of this very important information to us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks,
It's a
Candace.
pleasure.
Thank you.